Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I just wanted to know, what can I do? What can we do to, recession-proof a job, or find a job that's recession-proof?
Yeah, those are two different questions. Because the first question is what can we do to recession-proof our life? And my pal George Campbell, I'm going to let him take that one. And then the second question is very different. Can I get, or George, maybe is there a recession-proof job? So two different questions. Let's start with the first one. Go ahead. How does she and her husband recession-proof their life? Because I think she's indirectly asking that. Is that fair, Crystal?
That's true, yes.
All right, let's take on that part.
We got this a lot during the pandemic. How do I sort of pandemic-proof my life? How do I create a bulletproof financial foundation for my family? And the answer is simple, Crystal. Don't owe people money. Have money in the bank and be investing for the future. And so if you are completely debt-free, you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, well, if that job loss does happen, it's not going to be fun, but it's not going to throw you into a tizzy either. You're going to have money to get by. You don't owe people money, so the income is less of an issue. So that's what I would recommend, on top of investing for the future and not touching that money and not freaking out. That's what most people do. They have no savings. They tap in. They get the credit card, the HELOC when times are bad, and then they never climb out of that. So are you in that spot right now?
No, but I am a stay-at-home mom right now, and I am looking for a full-time job, and I'm finding that it's a little slim pickings. So I've been looking for about, a few months.
What are you looking for?
And, well, the pay is a big thing just because I have to put one of my children in daycare. So it has to, level itself out.
Right.
So anything like, customer service or something like that, but the pay has to be there. And I have,
kind of pay?
Found a couple. For me, maybe like 18 to 20 bucks an hour. Okay. And the area that I'm at, those jobs just aren't paying that.
Yeah. One of the things to look at that is not area specific is customer service jobs online and phone customer service work, where you could actually do that at home and not have to put the child in daycare potentially. If you have some help around the house, maybe an older grandmother, somebody wants to help, a lot less expensive. But I would be looking at that. I don't think it has to be Orlando-based to make the $18 to $20 an hour. In fact, I know it doesn't have to be for that customer service type role.
Well, I have been looking around a lot and applying, through a lot of larger corporations and stuff, but I'm not getting callbacks, and trying to get through HR for something like that. It's not happening.
Yeah. Well, I get it. You're going to have to hustle, and we're going to have to think about relationships first. I'm going to give you the book, The Proximity Principle, as my gift to you, which will do a deep dive and help you think through, okay, what are the relationships that I have so that I'm getting around the resume lottery process? Because that's a very discouraging and quite frankly, not a very effective way to kind of get a job these days, just because of AI and the amount of people applying. And so I'll jump in here on what George said. We need an $18 to $20 an hour job, however we can get it. If we can get it remotely at this point, it's better for you from a childcare standpoint. But I would encourage you, it's out there. But to your question, because now I understand your question is rooted in frustration. And now you're seeing the signs of what's going to happen with this economy. We're seeing the unemployment rate now up over 4%. But the jobs report that just came out this week says we're holding steady. We didn't have unemployment jump up. So we're still in a decent job market. But the answer to your question is the only job in the world that is recession-proof is that of being a parent. Because when you said I'm a stay-at-home mom, I went, that's the only recession-proof job. Because meaning you're not going to get fired from being a mom. Okay. So the reason I'm saying that is this: there is no silver bullet career or profession that if a recession causes a company to lay somebody off, they don't just go, well, at some point everybody's job is up for grabs.
Well, a lot of people gravitate to government jobs because they see them as more stable. They go, well, I'm not going to get fired as a USPS driver or a teacher.
Okay. I still wouldn't call that recession-proof. And I'm just being completely honest. So what you're looking for here is, Crystal, is you're looking for something that is as close to what they called essential workers during the pandemic. It drove me nuts. And I think to the extent that you could be working for some trades, could you do customer service for some local tradespeople in your area? Because they're small businesses. They're always looking for help. I would be looking that direction.
Okay. I can definitely do that. And yeah, I've been looking at smaller businesses too, and a lot of what I get is we've had a lot of applicants, or like they fill it super quickly. And I'm not trying to make excuses that I'm haven't been able to find a job.
Oh, I know. I know you're not.
It's a lot of competition, and
There is.
Were you working outside the home before?
I was, and it was kind of just answering phones. I was a verification specialist, just verifying people's backgrounds and the jobs that they've had previously.
I think you need more confidence in the skills you do have, Crystal. Right now, you're kind of going, well, I was just answering phones, and I've been being a mom, and that's why I think you need to lead with the skill set you do have, and I think you have more skills than you think you do.
Yeah, and Crystal, I'm gonna reemphasize. I think the small business is where you need to go. These larger companies, you're just another name, and there is so much competition for them. But I'm talking like the guy that's got a crushing plumbing business, and he can't find anybody to help take his phone calls. But you're just sitting there going, I can do this with my eyes closed, and one hand behind my back while my kids running around throwing goldfish all over the place. I think the small business owners, and this is you in your church community, your sports communities, wherever you and your husband are doing life, who's got a small business that just needs an office manager or some administrative help?
Crystal's been the COO of her own home, and so I think you need to look at, that's what I need to do. I know how to handle the operations.
That's as close to recession-proof as possible, is where you are the right hand and the person who makes a tradesman's life a lot easier.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.